What is up, guys, and welcome back to another video with F1 Maestro. Today we're going to be doing the opening round of the first GP of the 2023 season in F1 Clash, and that is the Emilia Romagna GP. And I'm down in challenges, so we're going to be doing that. I'm going to be doing the first 4 races, and then I will be doing a second video on the final 4 races in the opening round. Before I forget, I should change my driver setup that I'm using for the duels. You want to use your 2 best drivers indeed, because the best worst driver method is only so that you can win in duels. It doesn't matter if you win by 5 points in a duel. However, with a GP you want to score the best possible points that you can, whether you win or lose that specific race in the GP, and this is my car setup. So let's jump right into it. I've waited a while. Normally what you want to do is you want to wait about an hour, between 1 to 3 hours, just so that the servers can calm down a bit, so that you can get all 8 races done without any disconnection problems. Okay, so it looks like these guys in P1 have all the races maxed out, or not, so this should be quite easy. First race in Italy. Hopefully the team scores in our favor. I do have a bigger team score now than I did compared to Wednesday when I did my qualifying round, because I've managed to level up my Alonso. So it should be an easy P1, P2 come the end of the race across all 8 races. I might have to use the little boosts that I do have as necessary, just so that I can obviously earn more boosts back by placing P1 at the end of the GP, because you do get more boosts this season, which is great. Worth noting is that they do apparently seem to be less effective, so you are going to get a lot more of them, because the value for them has decreased. We've got wet qualifying here, so this should work in our favor for P1 and P2 as predicted. Yes. Alright, I want to use a boost just so that I can not get caught up in the pits, and I think I'm going to go with, I need to use boosts that I have a lot of, and this is a corner track, so I think Merlion, and then maybe another Merlion. I should have actually given Logan Sargent the Frost or something like that, and then given Alonso the Merlion. But there you go, as you can see my cars are just pulling away. I'm boosting compared to the rival, but this is a corner track, so you want to be boosting away to create as much of a lead and gap between you and your rival, so that you can get a free pit stop. Because I'm going to be going for 2 pit stops here. I'm going to be doing 3, 2, 3. Just cut down to conserve on the straight, and watch as that ERS charge climbs up. So Sargent does have the better tyre wear, so I'm just going to be pushing with him actually. I want him pitting first. Boost, yeah. And again around this final corner onto the straight, just to create again a lead. And then I can put in my pit orders, service, because I'm not going to service the second time. Boost Sargent away. Nice little lead going on there. So I should be able to get a free pit stop on the rival and without stacking my own drivers. How are you guys finding your GPs? I'm down in challenges, obviously, as I said. And let me just boost here so Magnussen doesn't overtake. He shouldn't because he has higher defending than overtaking. And then slow down so that I can jam that rival up and not stack. And there we go. I'm down in challenges so that I can possibly get a guaranteed P1. And let's just overtake this rival for no dirty air. And I'm down in challenges because I could have gone into contenders, but I want to get obviously more boosts so that I can start building up boosts. This season it's going to be easier. And the trick with last season, if you wanted to build up boosts, was that you needed at least 200-300 boosts to be able to win those back, plus more in GPs, and I didn't have that many. Now keep in mind these needed to be premium boosts, so I'm not talking about like 300 self-control or downforce. You needed like 100 dead fast, 100 eclipse, or 100 of anything else. You needed some pretty good boosts, some of the best in the game. Before I forget, I might as well put in service orders. Oh, very slow. Did we get the pit? Yes, we did on Alonso. Now the rival might not be coming to pits now, but they're gonna have to after this, so Alonso with a massive charge. I'm just gonna let Sargent. I'm gonna push him now because the rival is trying to push with Verstappen, which is probably an epic. I'm just gonna let Alonso also push. This lag is killing me. There we go. We're gonna just cut down, boost a little bit, and cut down again. Rival is only full on Magnussen, which is okay because Magnussen isn't great at overtaking, so there's nothing to worry about. It would be a bit of a problem for me if that charge was all the way on Verstappen, and it's not, so just conserve here for the final lap. Just want to give Sargent a bit of a boost actually down this final corner, and Alonso, so that I can create as much of a gap so that when the rival is busy building up now and they push, they won't be able to close that gap, and I'll have some little bit of reserves left to just try and battle for that P1 and P2. Now you're going to want to be pushing on this corner that Alonso's about to take if you've got a little bit of a gap like that on your rivals, and then you can just cut them down. Otherwise you've got that straight there, and then you can just again boost all the way to finish. And as you can see, the rival is now pushing their Magnussen, but a little bit too late. They should have been pushing when they exited the pits. So easy P1, P2 there. Down in challenges. Very easy. I'm not sure if the rival was using boosts because you're not able to see. Not yet, at least. Hutch did remove it, but they're going to be putting it back in, they said, so we just have to wait and see for that. Let's just take a look at the rivals. Drivers. Epic Verstappen though, a common. And as you can see, that common is so much more usable this year the drivers are a lot more balanced, which is amazing, especially for the more casual players. You can compete a lot more broadly with the cards that you do have upgraded, whereas last year every epic in season series 12 and 11 was just the end game. This year, as you can see, a common level 7 Verstappen is competing with my rare drivers, so that's good. On to race 2 out of the 4 for this first segment of the video. Let's go and jump right into this one. This is Jeddah. Now what you want to do as well, if you have quite a bit of boosts on hand, is obviously go and just favorite the boosts. for this GP. Take a look at the tracks and see the major whether they straights or corners, and you want to just go and favorite those boosts so that they're at the top, and then you can just easily equip them to your drivers without having to sort through them like I am. I hope this doesn't disconnect. Please don't. Because the usual story is that it's your internet connection. In reality, it's the servers being overloaded, which is why if you do enter the race, the GPs within the first hour, you're gonna get a disconnect, and you don't want to be doing that this early on into the season, especially if you're trying to just get a good placement medal for your CC season score. So 7 laps. First of all, let me just equip boosts quickly. Damn, I'm like short on time here. So we're gonna go tune in, and for Alonso we need a lot of speed, so we could go and give him like let's just give him that, and then I'm gonna go to 2-3-2, and the starting weather is 30 degrees, so I'm going to be getting some good grip out of these mediums, and I'm not going to have to pit in that first lap with Alonso. So I do believe they dropped Jeddah from 8 laps to 7. I'm not sure why that is. I'm just going to cut down my drivers here until the final straight. This part. Just continue pushing. Now the rival isn't going to be able to push with their it looks like I'll be able to get 3 laps actually out of these mediums if I can just conserve a bit more on the second lap. Well, you see the rival is now actually pitting with Verstappen. They could have got a bit more out of those tires, even though it was less than 50%, because they've already done half of the first stretch. So if they had just used 48% or whatever, they could have easily gone into pits. And there you go, you see Ocon trying to now come past. Just going to defend a bit. And we're not going to be able to do 3 laps on these, so we're going to boost to pits. Come back around for some hards. Pit Alonso for some hards as well. That was my blunder. I could have totally boosted Sargent away and not stacked, but it's okay. It's not yet over. Plus, it's only just the opening round. It might affect my final round score if the person in P1 has max stats, score points, and they also scored max in the opening round, assuming I can't get max points from this race. But it should be possible. Still getting a bit used to the multitasking. Sargent just flying away, and as you see, Verstappen is going to have to go to pits. I'm going to boost Alonso as well now for an easy P3 or P4, depending on how fast he can come around this straight. And as you can see now, I have a wonderful lead between Sargent and Alonso. Just going to continue boosting because on Jeddah these cars come flying out the pits. Cut him down there, boost Sargent away around this corner. The slowest part of the track is this area here. Cut him down so that he can get that extra lap, and I can bring him back around for mediums and just cruise to finish. So again, it looks like another easy 47 points. This is a long truck, so just to be safe, I'm gonna service my cars because this year when your cars break down, it's horrible. It's absolutely horrible. You could be flying by and then you have 0% and your cars just come to a literal standstill. They start crawling by. And the rival Verstappen is coming for us, but he's on hards and we're going to be switching for mediums. So let me just see, boost Sargent into the pits and start boosting Alonso. Just cut him down a little bit more and boost him into pits as well now. And then we should be able to come out possibly before Verstappen with Alonso. Horrible lag. Just gonna cut down Sargent there. And now we're gonna just push with Alonso to catch up to Verstappen, the rival Verstappen. Get Alonso build up just a little bit so that I can start pushing with him. And there you go, rival is coming to pits. So I'm just going to boost away and I'll take that opportunity of whatever 7 seconds, 5, 6, 7 seconds that they are going to be in pits for. Just conserve a little bit here. Cut Alonso back down. And then push on the final stretch, sector 3. Sargent can go all the way now until finish, actually. Verstappen coming back out on softs. It's a bit dangerous. So we're gonna boost. We have to boost just a little bit here so that charge goes up a bit faster and then all the way to finish. For an easy 47 points and a P1 and P2. Rival finishing P3 and P4. Let's just take a look at their team score, see what sort of drivers they are using. So we have the far superior car in terms of speed. Jump on into race 3 as soon as it can just sort itself out. Baku. This could be a bot. So far the team scores have been in our favor, so not going up against opponents with 100 plus team score over us, which is good. Otherwise it would be very difficult to score 47 across all 8 races. They do place P1 though. So 7 laps, we're going to be doing a 2-3-2. And again, Baku has corners. So I'm going to give Logan some overtaking because his isn't as good as Alonso's. And I'm going to give Alonso some hook. Got a good amount of those boosts, all 50. It's not much compared to what some players have, but for me that's a lot. So some hook and some dragon for that overtaking in corners. Up into P1 and P2. 15 degrees here at Baku. Just gonna push for the first 2 laps, completely push, except down on the straight. And create as much of a lead as possible. And let's see how much it is at the moment. 8 seconds between Alonso and the rivals Verstappen. Cut down here. Just cut down a little bit, push with Sargent again so that he has that easy free pit stop. Come back for some mediums. Might struggle a bit here on the pits, but that's okay because the Verstappen is also going to have to come back to pits at the end of this lap. So Sargent will be out anyways. And then boost into pits after building up a charge. You don't want to be close to pits and coming into pits with pit orders. If you have, let's say, 4% charge left, you want to build it up just before entering pits so that you can boost into pits. Because if you have 4%, you won't be able to choose the fastest engine mode and you won't be able to get that speedy pit entry. Alonso climbing back up. Just gonna let him build up some charge again, Alonso, since he's at 40% and then a comfortable P3. And the rival Sargent is going to be coming to pits at the end of this lap. I'm just going to cut Sargent down as well on this massive straight for an easy 20% charge. And then again, just push him to create some of that lead. Come back to pits at the end of lap 5. And then switch again to softs. Very, very big gap. And surprisingly, the rival is using hards. This is not a bot, because their strategy makes no sense. They're going to be trying to push till the end of this lap, the race. Until using those softs, those hards, so. But they're going to just fall behind even further than they already have. That gap is massive, and now that I'm going to be going back to softs, that 26-second lead is going to drop down to about 20 with the pit stops, and then maybe climb up to about 40 seconds by the end of the race. Now I'm going to push Alonso as well so that he can come out ahead in the pits. Boost him into pits. Cut him down here to build up charge and not stack. And then again boost him into pits. So the lead is 31 seconds and it should be about 40 seconds if not more by the end of lap 8. And as you can see, we've got a massive lead between Alonso and Verstappen, 7-second lead. And Sargent's component has failed, so that's very bad news for the rival, unfortunately, because now they're going to be losing a lot of positions. Just look as they drop from P4 all the way down to P7. By the end of this lap, they could be P20 even, very easily. So Sargent already almost lapping the rival Sargent, whose component has failed. A back marker just getting a free speed boost there, until Hutch solves that. Hopefully it's soon. It can't come fast enough. As you can see, pushing De Vries and Piastri, my Alonso, just coasting them along off my own car's energy charge, and their Albon again also just getting a free ride, just cruising on my own charge. And there we have lapped the rival Sergeant, who has to come back into pits and service to go on to lap 7. 40-second lead. Drawing out the race a bit longer than necessary, but it's alright. And the rival scored 29 points. That breakdown harmed them a lot, and that's why you don't want to be pushing it with your reliability and your servicing. You'd rather just go to pits and service for those extra 2 seconds or less, instead of losing a whole 30-40 seconds per lap that you've broken down for. Let's just see what loadout they had. An epic Verstappen, probably level 2, just a slightly faster pit stop time, but we had the superior car. They did have a level 4 brute force engine, so that's good. The second strongest engine in the game, power unit wise, and the third or fourth best engine in the game overall. I just went and bought all the engines that I could to get mine to level 6 to unlock asset trading easier with my CC points. So the final race of this video, the first portion of the video for the opening round, and then I'll be doing the last 4 in a separate video. Again, another match make in our favor with the whole 80 team score difference. Racing down in Bahrain. P2 and P3 for us, and P1 and P5 for the rival. So this is 8 laps. Let me just see what boosts I have. So I can get 3 out of those mediums with Sergeant. So I'm just gonna go and give him some iron force and some time management. I'm gonna switch Alonso down. Wow, 36 degrees on the next temperature change, and I'm gonna go and give Alonso some hook. So 2-3, 2-3 on the softs and the mediums. Three minutes until the 36 degrees. So that should be by lap 5 or so, I don't know, more or less. And then we can just come back to softs for that, with Logan at least. And Alonso, he would have to, by lap 5 we could put him on the softs. Cut Alonso down, let Sargent just build up here, push him around the first turn. A massive lead on the rival. Because again we do have the superior car. Could probably just comfortably pull a 4 lap with these mediums, but I'm not going to push it. I don't want to leave anything to chance. So I'm going to come back for mediums again, just so that I can catch that 36 degrees on those softs with Alonso as well. Because if I put Alonso on the softs now, I'm not going to get that grip in the minute and 20 seconds, as you can see in the middle of my screen. 1 minute 15 seconds until the temperature is changing. Just going to cut down, yeah, otherwise the rival's going to hold us up. There we go, out before we even stack. Just push, push, push with Sergeant now. Come back on lap 5. Switch back to those mediums. Or softs actually, because he can comfortably get 3 laps. And then I'm going to do 3 more. Come back on lap 6 with Alonso. Pit at the end of lap 6. And then do lap 7 and 8 on softs for him. Because we're going to be hitting 34 degrees. Wow, it's already changed. So that grip difference is massive, absolutely massive. And as you can see, Sargent is just pulling away from Alonso. I could probably actually get him through to lap 6 on the softs, Sargent, considering the lead, and then just bring him back on laps 6 for the fresh set of tires, which is what I'm going to actually do. Another easy one, yeah. Big enough lead to not stack. Fully charged batteries to completely just push. Gonna have to just boost Sargent a little bit into these pits. Oh wow, did I not pit him? Oh gosh. Ravel is not okay. That's why I don't multitask. First time, okay, so we're just gonna unfortunately have to push Sergeant or out, and then he's gonna come back for that pit, and he should not get caught by the rival. As you can see, he's almost already onto his 8th lap, but I'm gonna cancel those servicing orders, or rather not, I don't want to risk it. And up to 32 degrees, yeah. That saved us, completely saved us. Hopefully we can get out of this pit super fast. This is looking very close, yes we can. But will the rival Sainz overtake us? He will. Can't believe that happened. That's a big bummer. But what can you do? Sometimes these things happen. And you just gotta keep pushing on. Keep trying. Because this isn't the end of the GP for us. I'll still take a P2 or P3. I'm not gonna let that knock the wind out of our sails. No, no. Alright, so aside from a simple mistake, wow, okay, Rival almost caught up to us as well. Didn't have time to reply, but yeah, P1 and P3 for 46 points, so we just 1 point down, but as you've seen, P1 and P2 at the moment in the current round with those who have raced do not have max points, so it still should be an easy P1 with that little mistake, because they've lost about 10 points over all 8 races. the current P1. So unless those who haven't yet raced score perfect points, it shouldn't do much. Let's just take a look at that quickly, and then I'm going to end this video and post part 2 in a bit. So there's someone with perfect points. Right, so, but that is just opening round. Alright guys, that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate all the support. I appreciate you guys taking the time out of your day to watch me as a content creator. And if you haven't already, remember, just smash that subscribe button if you want to see more content. And until the next one, peace.